Yan, so thank you for allowing me to record our meeting. Okay, so yeah, good evening to everyone. Thank you for attending our lecture for today. Okay, so in our previous discussion, no, after we discussed the time value of money, no, in which I am hoping that everyone learns something, no, about the value of money. About the value of money is important, no, as time goes by, no, and we appreciate how to compute for the present value, no, the future value, the interest, no, the simple, the compound interest, and even the cash flow. Okay, so moving forward, no, with our discussion, no, in the course business finance. Okay, so for today we are going to discuss, yan. Okay, so for today we are going to discuss the or we are going to continue our discussion with financial analysis and financial planning. Okay? Ito bang mga nakapop out sa akin dito sa screen, nakikita nyo like itong you're presenting to everyone? Hindi. Hindi nyo nakikita to. Or I need to hide
Kita
this.
po, sir.
Kita,
Ayan.
sir.
Okay. Ano ko ba ito i-hide? Ayan. Okay. So yun, no? So this is, or to continue, no, with our discussion, we are going to discuss the financial analysis and financial planning. Okay? Now, which is, yun nga, I learned no, that you already took the course, no, or the subject accounting in your previous semester. I think first year ata kayo kung hindi ako nagkakamali, no, which is, I believe, that no, there's no need, no, for me to discuss or for me to elaborate more kung ano yung assets, no, what do we mean when we say assets, or no, for what are liabilities, no, what are the owner's equities, no, as well as the different basic financial statements, no, like the income statement, no, the balance sheet, the statement of owner's equity, no, and the statement of cash flow. Tama ba ako? You already encounter, no, this kind of financial statements. Okay, so uh, because let's say if we are going to discuss those topics, no, in the subject, okay, our time to discuss other topics in business finance will not be enough, no, for this semester. Okay, kasi 'di ba the accounting subject is you have 1 semester to learn it. No, in EBM strand, they have 2 years to discuss those topics. And in the accountancy program, yun ang pinag-aaralan nila in 4 years. Okay? And hindi naman tayo mga accounting major or mga EBM strand graduates, no? And no, the reason why I'm saying this kasi practically speaking, no, let's say after you graduate from this program, okay, it's either you will work as a staff, no, or as a manager in the different industry of your choice, no, or you will manage your own business, no, or you will manage your family's business, no. Actually, I am happy to know, no, that majority of my students pala in business finance, is meron silang business that they are looking forward, no, to manage, no, or ang ilan naman sa inyo is interested to venture in their own business, no. Personally, as a business consultant, no, natutuwa ako, no, that's why nung nakaraan, no, I grant a request to discuss a lecture about business. Okay, now, so going back, I think there's no need for us, no, to review how to prepare those financial statements. Okay, kasi if in case, papasukin muna natin yung nagdo-doorbell. Okay. Yan. Okay. So, yeah, going back, yun nga, there's no need for us to review, no, kung ano yung mga iba't ibang financial statements. Okay. Wala na papasok, no? Distract tayo eh. Okay. Yeah, so going back, no, as what I'm saying, I think hindi na natin kailangan pang balikan or i-review or i-discuss ulit, no, kung ano yung mga financial analysis or ano yung mga financial statements, no? Kasi if in case, let's say you need to prepare financial statements, no, in your business, let's say in the near future, no, nakakailanganin nyo siya, um, or kunwari, if in case, no, you need to prepare financial statements in your business right now, no, what you can do is you can go back to your notes or to your lectures, no, kasi I have this feeling din naman na let's say magdi-discuss ako ulit na makakalimutan nyo rin, no. So it's something na kasi it's something na kumbaga parang out of your interest, no, and kaya kasi practically speaking, no, let's say medyo established na yung business mo and you need those financial statements. Now, basically, you will hire an accountant, no? Mag-hire ka na lang ng accountant. Okay? Mag-hire ka ng accountant kasi technically, they are good in that field. No? And pinag-aralan talaga nila yon in 6 years. No, 2 years from ABM Strand and 4 years in undergrad program, no, in accountancy program, accountancy major. Okay? But syempre, at least, no, it's also important that you have knowledge on what those financial statements are trying to tell us. Okay, let's say the income statement, no, income statement, basically it is giving us the details kung may net profit ba tayo or may net loss ba, or it is giving us how much ang nagiging expenses natin to produce those sales. Okay, no, or in the statement of cash flow, no, it is just telling us na ito yung pera na pumapasok, ito yung pera na lumalabas. Okay? And basically, basically the reason why we are taking the subject, no, the business finance, kasi 'di ba sabi natin business finance is defined as the art and science of managing money, no, and raising funds used in business. Okay, so that's why, let's say in the near future, no, let's say you are managing a business in the different industries, no, na pwede nyong pagtrabahuhan. No, let's say on your track, no, the possible industries are, it's either travel and tours, no, events management, transport agencies, no, restaurants or hotels, and a lot more, no, or either you will manage your own business. Okay? So it is important that at least you know how financial, itong topic natin na to, it's better for you to know how financial planning, no, and financial analysis works, no? Kasi ito talaga ang magiging isa sa mga functions ng isang manager. Okay? Kahit meron kang accountant or let's say you own the business, mag-hire ka ng accountant, but their work, no, is more on the analysis of the transactions, no, and preparing the financial statements. Then after nilang magawa ang mga financial statements, no, as the manager, no, ikaw naman ngayon ang mag-analyze kung ano ang status ng finances ng business. And from those status, no, ikaw ang gagawa what are the next plans, no, for you to secure na yung business mo or yung business na minamanage mo is earning a profit, no? Baka kasi mamaya wala pa lang pumapasok na profit, puro expenses lang pala, no? Puro expenses lang pala yung lumalabas, no? Palugi na pala yung business mo nang hindi mo namamalayan, no? Magugulat ka na lang, no? Bankrupt na pala yung bankrupt na pala yung business mo, no? So basically, no, that is one of the reasons why we need to learn financial planning and financial analysis. Okay, so let's proceed on giving you first, no, the definition of financial planning. Okay, when we say financial planning, no, it is the process of estimating the capital required for the business, no, or it is the process of framing financial policies in relation to procurement, investments and administrations, no, or the funds in the company or in the business. No, in other words, all of the possible plans, no, or all of the possible decisions na pwede mong gawin sa business, no, na minamanage mo, no, will depend on the objectives of your business, which is basically, no, one of the objectives, di ba? One of the objectives ng isang business is para kumita, no, or for the business to earn a profit. Okay, also, it depends on the policies or the procedures, no, when it comes to fund management. Okay, and it depends upon the budget of your business, no, regarding the financial activities concerned. Okay, so dito in financial planning, basically if we are going to connect it, no, to our personal or to our daily activities, no, kung magkano lang yung pera na meron ka or magkano lang ang budget na meron ka, no, you have to plan on using that specific amount of money um, wisely, no? What happened? Okay. So yun, now for example, meron kang 500 pesos, no, and you know that you have to budget those 500, no, let's say for you to let's say for your load, no, sa sa online class, no, or for load mo for 1 to 2 weeks online class, no, but normally ang nagiging ending, no, nagiging impulsive buyer tayo or nagiging impulsive buyer ka sa Shopee, no, and I'm not saying na wag kang na wag kang mag-Shopee. Now what I'm saying is no, you have to really plan, on the decisions or actions na gagawin mo, no, on the money that you have. Okay? Kasi, no, ang kalimitang nangyayari, let's say 500 lang ang pera mo, no? 500 lang ang pera mo. Okay, pero ang total cash out mo sa Shopee is, let's say, more than 500, no? And ang nagiging thinking mo is hihingi na lang ulit ako kay papa, no? Hihingi na lang ulit ako kay mama, hihingi na lang ako kay ate, kay kuya, no? May trabaho naman sila. And you know what, class, if you have no, if you have that kind of thinking, no, it is a bad habit. Okay? Kasi you have to take note, no, kahit may trabaho sila, kahit they are earning a salary, no, you have to also consider, no, na binabudget din nila yung pera, no, or they also allocate their funds. Okay, which is, I think, more important, no, than those than those of your wants, no. And minsan we have to be aware, no, we have to be aware between the difference of needs and wants. Okay? Kung need mo talaga yung item, then buy it, no? Because it is something important. No? Kung hindi naman siya need, no, and want mo lang siya, then maybe we can set it aside, no? And let's say may pera ka, no? Let's say wala ka namang maisip na bilhin, then save it, no? Or invest it to something that your money will grow. Okay? And nag-chat, wait lang. Okay, and you know what, classes, as student, no, you can be an investor, no, katulad ng sinasabi ko kanina, kahit student pa lang kayo, you can be an investor. Classmate nyo ba to sa Tinaro Wilbur? Okay, no, no, you can be an investor, and ituturo ko yan sa inyo on our last lectures, no. We have a separate discussion, okay, about investment. Okay, siguro, no, a piece of advice, no, after that discussion is, if you can already practically apply it, no, that's better, no? So ngayon pa lang, kung gusto niyo mag-invest, siguro ngayon pa lang mag-ipon na kayo kahit a minimum of 1,500 pesos lang. Okay, going back, from the example that I gave you, no, that's the same thing, no, that we are doing in the fund management in the business. Okay? And itong financial planning na ito, no, itong financial planning, no, it is a process na ginagawa on how you can wisely manage the finances you have for your business, no, technically. No, let's say this is the money that you have, okay, or ito yung pera na meron yung business, and kunwari you have a project na kailangan yung gawin, no, but limited na lang ang budget na meron kayo, no, as the person who manage the finances of your business, what will you do, no? Do you have to adjust your decisions na gagawin mo based on what you only have, or you do something like, will you apply for a loan in a bank, or will you open for investments, or any possible decisions na pwede mong gawin. Okay? So that is the financial analysis na gagawin mo. Okay? Now, what is financial analysis? Ay, wait lang. Naka-share screen pa ba ako? Okay. Yan. Okay? So, what is financial analysis? Okay, it is the process an individual goes through to analyze a company's various financial documents in order to make an informed decision about the business. Okay, sorry, wait lang. Okay, so going back, no, financial analysis is the process an individual goes through to analyze a company's various financial documents, no. Kapag sinabi nating financial analysis, no, this is the act or this is the process na ini-evaluate natin yung business, no, or yung pera ng business and other finance related transactions, no, to determine it's either the performance of the business. No, typically, itong financial analysis na ito, no, it is used to analyze whether the business is liquid, solvent, stable, or profitable. Or ito yung tinatawag natin na measurement levels. Okay? So, we have the liquidity, we have the solvency, the stability, and the profitability. Okay? So, itong apat na ito, no, we are calling them as measurement levels. No? This is the financial aspect kung paano natin ma-analyze yung negosyo, no, na meron tayo, or yung negosyo na minamanage natin when it comes to the financial aspect. Okay, so and you have to remember, no, you have to remember these different levels kasi later on sa discussion natin sa financial ratio analysis, na ito yung mga factors that we will be considering. Okay, so discuss natin, the first one is the liquidity. Okay? So it is the company's ability to pay its current or short-term liabilities on time with its current assets. Okay? Kapag sinabi nating liquid or liquidity, no, this refers to the ease ng business or yung mabilis na kakayahan ng business, no, kung kaya ba niyang i-convert ang assets, no, or kung kaya ba niyang i-convert yung security, no, into a cash, no, without affecting its market price, no, or pag sinabi nating liquidity, this is the process of converting your assets into cash, no, in a short term concept. No, pag sinabi nating assets, if you remember the discussion of your accounting subjects, no, ng mga nakaraang semester, asset, it is something that you have. No, and pag sinabi nating liabilities, it is something that you owe. Okay? Okay, so that is liquidity. Okay, so the next one is the solvency. It is the company's ability to borrow funds using its assets and equity. It is an individual or a firm's ability to pay for the long-term debt in the long run. No, mali ang aking spelling pero it's DEBT, no, but it is pronounced as silent B, no, debt in the long run. Mali lang po yung spelling, pagpasensya niyo na po ako. Okay. So itong kung yung liquidity kanina, it is a short-term concept. No, itong solvency naman, this is a long-term concept. Okay? Kapag naman sinabi nating solvent or solvency, no, it is the ability of the business, no, to meet its long-term debts and financial obligations. Okay? So let's say after you analyze the financial status, no, masasabi nating solvent ang business kapag based from the balance of what you have, no, is kaya mo pa ring mabayaran ang mga utang or yung financial obligations, no, or yung mga utang or financial obligations ng business mo, no? And when we say financial obligations, no, it is something na kailangan mo pang bayaran, or it is the business is meron pa bang, or pag sinabi nating solvency, yung business ba is meron pa rin ba siyang kakayahan na manghiram ng pera, no, parang using their assets and equity, no, as collateral. Okay, so that is the solvency, no. The next one is the stability. A long-term counterpart of liquidity. No, stability analysis investigates how much debt can be supported by the company and whether debt and equity are balanced. No, dito na ako sa pangatlong debt nagtumama. No, so this is the correct spelling. Okay? Okay. Kapag sinabi nating stability, no, it comes from the word stable. Okay? Pag sinabi natin stable, no, the business is something steady pa rin. And the business can still continue to operate regardless of the financial status. Okay? The last one is yung tinatawag natin na profitability, no, coming from the root word profits. No, a company's ability to generate profits from its resources or assets, or it indicate management's ability to convert sales into profits and cash flow. Okay? Or kung the business is kumikita pa ba or yielding a profit, no? So basically, itong financial analysis na ito, no, it can help the managers to make future business decisions or review the financial trends of the business, no, from the past records. No, and itong financial analysis na to can help si Joshua. My goodness. Okay. So, saan na nga tayo? So yun, yung itong financial analysis na dinidiscuss natin, no? Giving you the four measurement levels. No, ang ginagawa nito, it review, no, the financial business records. Let's say financial statement from 2017, 18, 19, 20, so on. And financial analysis, itong financial analysis na to, it can help the investors to choose the best possible investment opportunities, no? Kasi for example, let's say you are an investor and mamimili ka ng company kung saan ka mag-i-invest. No, ang isa sa i-consider mo is the financial analysis of the business. Okay? Kung stable ba siya? No, baka kasi mamaya hindi na pala stable ang business, no? At nag-invest ka pa rin kahit hindi stable yung business, ang ending malulugi ka lang, no? Yun yung sa profitability natin. Okay? Sorry, no? Kaya natin ginagawa itong financial analysis na ito, no, para ma-determine natin if the business is stable or not. Okay? And based from the financial analysis, no, gagawa tayo ng mga decisions or plans natin to address the financial issue ng business, and that is now, no, yung tinatawag natin na financial planning. Okay? In financial analysis, in order for us to analyze, no, the financial status of the business, meron tayong tinatawag na mga methods, no, or meron tayong mga methods na ginagamit. Okay? So there are two common methods na ginagamit natin to analyze a company's financial statements. Okay? Kapag sinabi natin financial statements as a review, no, baka nakalimutan nyo na, financial statement, this is basically, no, a summary of all transactions that are carefully recorded and transformed, no, into a meaningful information for the business, no? And there are four types, no? Meron tayong four types of financial statements, no? Meron tayong income statement, meron tayong statement of owner's equity, no? Meron tayong balance sheet, and meron tayong statement of cash flows. Okay? So, kanina, no, I discussed with you yung tinatawag natin na financial analysis, no? Kumaga parang bago tayo magkaroon ng financial planning, kailangan muna nating magkaroon ng financial analysis. And there are two most common methods, no, or the basic common methods na ginagamit for us to analyze, no, the financial aspect. The first one is the horizontal and vertical analysis, and the last one is the second one is the ratio analysis. Okay? So dito muna tayo sa first one, no, sa horizontal and vertical analysis. Okay? Sorry. Okay. So one of the two common methods, no, to analyze a company's financial statement, ito nga, the horizontal and vertical analysis. Okay? Now, I understand that, no, at your end right now, No, it's hard to understand um, kung ano ba itong horizontal analysis. But let's read first mo from the, sorry na, sa kadalalamunan ko. Okay. So pag sinabi nating horizontal analysis, no? This method what an epic night. Hold on. Pull up my tools. Okay. Hold on. Narinig niyo ako, right?
Yes,
Opo.
sir.
Okay, good.
Yes po.
Okay. Um, hold on. Where's that? Okay. Saan tayo natigil kanina? Horizontal and vertical analysis na tayo, no?
Opo.
Alright.
Ratio analysis po.
Okay, so let's continue. What an epic night it is. Okay, so going back, um, uh, okay, no, so okay, so let's proceed on giving you the discussion for the horizontal and vertical analysis. Okay, so horizontal analysis, this method analyzes the trend of the company's financial information over a period of time. Each line item is examined specifically, the percentage change from the previous period. Now, while the vertical analysis, this method compares the relationship between a single item on the financial statements to the total transactions within one given period. Now, it will show the percentage of change of the financial information from the last period and can be performed on both income and balance sheet. Okay? Which is, I understand, no? I understand that at your end, no, kahit basahin natin to ng paulit-ulit, no? it's hard to understand this definition kung ano ba tong horizontal and vertical analysis, no? Since we don't have malalim na background when it comes to the accounting. Okay? So, no, it's hard to differentiate ano ba tong horizontal na to, ano ba tong vertical analysis na to. Okay? So para mas maintindihan natin kung ano itong horizontal analysis and vertical analysis na to, no? So let's chunk down the information into pieces. Okay? Sorry. Okay. Okay. So let's start by its name, horizontal, no, and vertical. Okay? Technically, a horizontal, no, and vertical are lines or linya. Okay? Kapag sinabi nating horizontal, no, it runs from left to right. Okay? Or ito yung pahigang linya, no, while the vertical line naman is the opposite of the horizontal. No? Horizontal, pag sinabi nating horizontal, ito naman it is a line from up to down, no, or from down to up, no, or patayong linya. Okay? Once again, horizontal is pahigang linya. Okay? While the vertical is patayong linya. Okay? Now, moving forward with the analysis. Okay, if we are analyzing or comparing the data, no, from left to right, we are calling it as horizontal analysis. Okay? While if we are analyzing and comparing the data from top to bottom, no, or in vertical line, we are calling it as vertical analysis, no? So that is the difference between vertical and horizontal analysis. Now once again, pag sinabi nating horizontal, we are analyzing or we are comparing the data ng horizontal. Okay, pag sinabi naman nating vertical, vertical analysis, we are analyzing the data in a vertical line. Okay? So for us to better understand, no, the difference of this vertical and horizontal analysis, no, on the actual application of the financial statements, no. So let's have an example. Okay? So I'll show you an example. Naka-share screen pa ako, no? Tama?
Yes po.
Yes
Okay.
po.
So for us to better understand, no, the difference of the horizontal and vertical analysis, now let's take a look at this. Wait lang. Hold on, I'll pull up all the files na kakailanganin natin para tuloy-tuloy tayo. Stop ko muna to, baka kung ano yung makita natin. Mahirap na. Okay. Ano pang files yung kailangan ko ipakita sa inyo? Okay. So I'll just open first my wait lang. Hindi ko pala sure kung meron akong income statement dito. Pero I guess meron. Okay. The business project files. Alright. Perfect. Okay. The business project. Okay. Okay. All right, we're all set. All right. Now, so for us to better understand, no, the difference of the vertical and horizontal analysis, okay, let's take a look at this example. Okay, so this is an example of ito yung financial statements. No, basically this is the financial statement. Now we have the statement of financial position, the income statement. Kung natatandaan nyo ang inyong accounting subject, no, before you can come up with the income statement and the balance sheet, no, dadaan muna kayo sa general journal in which you record all the transactions, Then you record the current assets, the non-current, the liabilities, the capital, the revenue, the expenses, and so on and so forth. No, the trial balance. Now, before we can come up with the statement and balance sheet. Okay. So once again, pag sinabi nating horizontal analysis, no, um, it is yung horizontal analysis, it is also known as trend analysis. Okay, na kung saan it is a financial statement analysis technique, no, that shows changes in the amounts of corresponding um, financial statement items. So pag sinabi natin financial statement items, ito yon. Kunwari, the cash, the accounts receivable, the merchandise inventory, the total current assets. Now, we are calling them as items or financial statement items. No? Um, Once again, pag sinabi natin horizontal analysis, we are analyzing or we are comparing each line item in a horizontal method, no? In a horizontal method. Okay? So, so let's say for example, okay, we will analyze uh, the 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 income statement horizontally, or we will analyze the income statement using the horizontal analysis. Okay, which is I already added the data here. Okay, so for the income statement, okay, kunwari, i-analyze natin ang income statement ng aking let's say income statement ko for the year for the year 2018, no, sa atin lang to ha. This is a confidential information. So kunwari, this is the income statement of the business project for the year 2018, and this is the income statement of the business project for the year 2019. Okay? So ulitin ko, this is an example of the income statement for the year 2018. And this is the income statement for the year 2019. Okay? So, kapag mag-horizontal analysis tayo, okay, so nilagay ko siya sa isang file. Okay, so this is an income statement. Okay, basically, if you would notice, magkaparehas no, yung line items sa ating income statement ng 2018 and income statement ng 2019, no? So basically what we did no is kinopy lang natin itong details na nandito for the year 2019. Now we copy this and we paste it here. Okay, so ito siya. Now this is the data for 2019. Okay? From the year 2018, ito naman siya. Okay? From 2018, kinopy natin siya. Then we paste it here, no, for our vertical analysis. No, kasi 'di ba once again, the income statement or the financial statement, the income statement, the balance sheet is ginagawa siya yearly. No, ginagawa siya at the end of the year. Okay? So let's say for example, for this year to 2020 or for this year 2021, we need to analyze the income statement. No, we need to analyze ano ba yung naging takbo ng negosyo natin. O ano ba yung naging takbo ng business natin. Okay? Or from analyzing kung ano yung naging financial na takbo or financial health ng business natin, what are the plans that we need to do to ensure na let's say tumaas pa ang profit or hindi tayo malugi or something like that. Okay? Yun yung purpose kung bakit natin ginagawa ang horizontal and vertical analysis. Okay? Okay. Okay, so once again, no, ang horizontal analysis, we are analyzing the data in each line item vertically. Paganyan. Okay? So we are analyzing vertically from 2019 to 2018 for the net of sales, for the cost of sales 2019 to 2020. May naririnig ako. What's that? Wala naman nagme-message, no? Baka mamaya may nagme-message sa inyo. Okay. Okay, so going back. Okay, so once again, in horizontal analysis, ina-analyze natin yung bawat line items. No, let's say for example, sa income statement from 2019 to 2018. Okay, so dito sa financial analysis or sa horizontal analysis nito, no, the financial statements for 2, no, sa example natin, meron tayong dalawang financial income statement, no, kasi pwede rin siyang gawin for 2 or more periods. So pwedeng gawin mo siya ng 2017, 18, 19, 2018, 2019, 2020, no? Pwedeng ganon. Okay, in this example, no, kunwari we are going to analyze the income statement for the year 2018 and for the year 2019. Okay? The earliest period, nor the earliest period, no, is usually used as the base. Okay? Period, and the items on the statements for all the later periods is kino-compare natin with items on the statements dito sa ating tinatawag na base period, no, na kung saan the changes are generally shown, no, in the analysis amount. Okay, the changes are usually shown here in this table under the amount and the percentage. Okay, and meron tayong formula that we are using. Okay, meron tayong formula na ginagamit for us to compute the horizontal analysis and the percentage. Okay, so in horizontal analysis, now we are using this. In horizontal analysis, we are using this formula. Okay, the amount in comparison year minus amount in base year over the amount in base year multiply with 100. Okay. So once again, to get the horizontal analysis, here is the formula na ginagamit natin, that we are using. Okay? Yung horizontal sorry. No? Pag sinabi nating amount in comparison year, no, ito yung latest year. Okay, which is ang latest year natin is the 2019. Okay, this is the latest year. So ito yung ilalagay natin dito sa ating amount in comparison year. No, and yung base year natin na tinatawag, this is the oldest, or ito yung lumang year, or ito yung naunang year. Okay? So, in our example, okay, ulitin natin, let's remember the formula. For us to get the horizontal analysis, we are using this formula. The amount in comparison year, ito yung pinakabagong year, minus yung lumang year or yung base year over base year multiply with 100 for us to get the percentage. Okay? So let's go back dito sa ating ginawang file, no, for us to analyze the income statement using the horizontal analysis. Okay? So once again, itong amount nito for this amount, no, in the year 2019, ito yung ating amount in comparison year. Okay? Sorry. Naririnig ako ng maayos?
Yes po.
Okay. Alam ko may magre-reklamo. Okay, going back. No, once again, ito yung tinatawag natin na comparison year. Kasi, bakit natin siya tinawag na comparison year? Kasi ito yung pinaka-latest na year. Okay? And itong 2018 naman, this will be the base year kasi this is the yung pinaka-naunang year, no? Usually yung pinaka-naunang year, yun yung tinatawag natin na amount, the base year rather. Okay? So for us to get the difference, sorry. Okay. So dahil naka-Excel na tayo ngayon, no, magagamit na natin yung Excel for us to easily compute, no, na minsan hindi na natin kailangan ng calculator. Okay? So what we're going to do here para makuha natin yung amount. Okay? So equal sign, amount in comparison year, minus the amount in base year. Okay? Over the amount in base year again. Okay? So, the drop down natin lang siya para yung mga nasa other line items is makukuha natin. Okay? So, remove na lang natin to para hindi tayo magulo. Okay? Okay. So, once again, nakuha natin tong amounts na ito, yung nandito sa table na to, is because now we use the formula amount in comparison year, which is the 25,500,000 minus the amount in base year, the 20 million, divided by the base year again, which is the 20 million. Okay, so this is our answer. Okay, so for us to get the percentage, okay, from the answer that we get here, no, equal sign, no, following the formula, kasi we need to get the percentage, no? So kung ano yung sagot natin dito, which is nandito sa row na to, we will multiply it with 100. Okay, so using the Excel file, for us to get the percentage, sorry, equal sign, then the answer, multiply with 100. Sorry. What? Tayo, multiply with 100. Okay. What happened? Hold on. Mali. Ulitin natin, may mali tayong nagawa. Okay. So, kunin muna natin pala muna, hindi pala muna natin siya i-over sa base year, no? Kunin muna natin yung changes between the comparison year minus the base year. Okay? So, ito muna. Okay. So, ang kinuha muna natin, we get the difference, no? From the amount in comparison year minus the amount in the base year, no? So, this is the amount, no, that we have. Okay? Kapag dito sa amount na to, we are identifying if there's a decrease or there's an increase. Okay? So, from the year 2018, merong increase na 5,500. So, this is an increase. From the year 2018, meron tayong 15 million, naging 20,500,000 sa year 2019. So, there's an increase. Okay? Then, the rest one, puro increase. No, ibig sabihin, from the year 2018, mas gumanda yung figures niya for 2019. So, lahat siya nag-increase. No, kasi for example, let's say for example, dito naging, let's say this is 30. No? Let's say gawin natin siyang 30 million. Example ha. For example, from the year 2018 ay 30 million, no? Then from 30 million from 2019 naging 25 million na lang. As you can see here, naka-enclose siya sa parentheses. Okay? Ibig sabihin nito, kung nakikita nyo to, pag wala siyang parentheses, ibig sabihin there is an increase, no, or nadagdagan from the year 2018 to 2020. Okay? Kapag naman nakita natin na merong naka-parentheses, ibig sabihin there is a decrease. So may bumaba, no, from yung amount ng 2018, bumaba siya on the 2019. Okay? And we can easily identify it by just looking at the parentheses, no? So dito nakita natin na from dito nagkaroon siya ng decrease, no? From 2 million, from 2.54 million, naging 2.44 million na lang. So there is a decrease. Ibig sabihin, from 2018, no, bumaba siya in the year 2019. So there is a decrease of 100,000. Okay? So, going back, no, so na-identify na natin yung yung difference, no, or the amount, no, or may nadagdag ba or nabawas. Okay, from that, doon natin kukunin yung ating percentage. Okay? So, equal sign. Okay, equal sign. The answer, balik muna natin to sa 25,000. 25 million pala. Okay. Okay, so for us to get the percentage, susundan ulit natin yung formula. Ang una natin kinumpute kanina is the amount in comparison year minus the amount in base year. Okay? Equal sign here. Multiply with the base year. Multiply with 100. Oh my goodness. Then we will just drag down. Okay. No, so ito na yung tinatawag natin na horizontal analysis. Okay, so as we can see here, okay, from the 25 million ng 2018, no? From 25 million ng 2018, naging 25.5 million ng 2019. Ibig sabihin, there is an increase of 2%. No, there is an increase of 500,000. Okay? Then, same with the other details here. No? So, itong nakikita natin dito, this is the percentage of the increase or decrease, no, in the income statement, no? Dito kanina, 'di ba, dahil naka-enclose siya sa parentheses, no, we identify na there is a decrease, no, or nabawasan yung amount natin from the year 2018 to 2019. So, we can identify here that the percentage for the horizontal analysis, we have negative 3.94%. Okay? So, basically, this is how we analyze the income statement using the horizontal analysis. Okay, are we clear? Malinaw po tayo? Do you have questions before we proceed? You have questions? None? Okay. I guess no question. Okay, going back. Okay, so this is for the income statement, no? Gawin naman natin ang horizontal analysis for balance sheet, no? So, let's go from 2019. No, this is the balance sheet. Okay. So, itong assets na lang muna ang ating i-copy. Sige, copy na natin lahat. Okay. Hindi pala natin pwede i-copy lahat. Ito yung ating file. Okay. Okay, so this is our balance sheet from the year 2018. Okay, so let's also copy the balance sheet from the year 2019. Okay, para ma-analyze natin siya horizontally. Okay, no? So this is, saan po galing 2019? Okay? Now, so once again, 'di ba meron tayong mga financial statement kada taon, no? So we have the balance sheet for the year 2019 and we have the balance sheet for the year 2018. Okay? Ay, mali yung pinagkuhanan natin. Ito pala, balance sheet. Balance sheet pala yung kinukuha natin. So this is the balance sheet for the year 2018. Ay, tama. Tama naman, di ba? Tama ba? Okay. No, so this is the amounts for each line item sa ating balance sheet for the year 2018 and for the year 2019. Okay? So once again, now we will identify the amount or the changes in amount. Then we will identify the percentage. Okay? Okay. So once again, ano yung una nating gagawin for us to identify the changes in amount, if there's an increase, if there's a decrease? Anyone? Jerry?
Sir, ano po?
Once again, in order for us to get the increase or decrease of each line item for these 2 years in 2018 and 2019, ano yung gagawin natin?
Kukunin, sir, yung horizontal, horizontal analysis po.
Okay, so the first thing that we need to do once again, for us to analyze it horizontally, okay, is we will get the increase or decrease. And we can do that by using the formula amount in comparison year minus amount in base year. Okay? So in our example dito, sa ating balance sheet, wala na natin to. Balance sheet. Okay? So once again, we will get the increase or decrease from the year 2018 to 2019 or from the comparison year minus base year. Okay? So dito sa example natin, anong year dito ang ating comparison year? Anong year ang ating comparison year?
2019, sir.
2019, very good. Pag sinabi natin comparison year, ito yung pinaka-latest. Ito yung pinakabagong year for the financial statement or for the balance sheet. Okay? So once again, we will get the increase or decrease. So ibig sabihin, isusubtract natin from the comparison year coming from the base year. Okay? The base year natin is the 2018. Or pag sinabi natin base year, ito yung naunang taon. Okay? Especially if meron tayong dalawang taon na kino-compare, which is the 2018 and 2019. Okay? So, dahil lumabas siya na wala siyang parenthesis, ibig sabihin there is an increase. Nadagdagan siya from 2018 to 2019. Okay? So, let's drag down the formula for us to identify the other line items. Okay? Now, as you can see here, merong mga items na nagkaroon na naging nasa loob siya ng parenthesis. Ibig sabihin, ito yung mga line items na nagkaroon ng decrease or nabawasan. Okay? Which is, kung titingnan natin, from 540, nabawasan siya, naging 480,000 na lang. Okay? Same with the office equipment, Yung from the year 2018 na 400,000, sa 2019, naging 300,000. Ibig sabihin, there is a decrease of 100,000. Okay? So dito pa lang sa row na to, ma-identify na natin, dun sa pinagko-compare natin vertically, kung ito bang cash natin ay nadagdagan or nabawasan. So as we can identify, in cash, there is an increase. In accounts receivable, there is an increase. In merchandise inventory, there is an increase. In current assets, there is an increase. In furnitures and fixtures, nagkaroon ng decrease kasi nabawasan siya, nasa loob siya ng parentheses. Then after that is we will get their percentage. Okay? So for us to get the percentage, equal sign, the amount here over or divide by the base year, which is ang base year natin is 2018, multiply with 100. Okay? So, sorry, nalalamunan ko. Bawasan natin. Okay, no? So this is the percentage na, no, ng ating ina-analyze, no, for from um no, from the year 2018, no, in 2019, this is the percentage, no, nung data na ina-analyze natin for the balance sheet, no? And kung napansin niyo, no, normally dito nalilito yung karamihan, no, kasi it's either kunwari dito sa income statement natin that we analyze horizontally, no, nauna nating nilagay ang amount for the year 2019, no, which is madali nating ma-identify na 2019 minus 2018, so we have this answer. No, pero paano kung ang naunang nailagay is 2018 and 2019? Okay, we still need to follow the formula na uunahin natin or ibabawas natin ang base year mula sa comparison year, no? Which is dito nagkapalit or binaliktad lang natin ang placement, but still, no, the comparison year is the year 2019 minus the year in the base year, which is the 2018. So until we get this amount, we identify the increase and decrease, and we identify its percentage. Okay, so basically that's how we analyze the income statement and the balance sheet using the horizontal analysis. Okay, okay, now so once again no, that's how we basically compute for this is how we basically compute for the uh, vertical analysis, no? Or sorry, the horizontal analysis. Okay, then after getting the percentage change, no, nakuha na natin yung percentage change dito, which is the change coming from this amount. Okay? Etong nasa percentage natin na to, itong nasa row na to, ito yung magiging basihan, no, ng financial manager. What are the things that they need to do, no, or what are the decisions that they need to come up with, okay, to make sure that the business is earning. Okay, and we are calling it as the interpretation. Okay, so after nating ma-analyze using the horizontal analysis, no, we will now interpret ano kaya yung mga possible na reason, no, why we have this percentage. Okay, then we will come up with the plans, no, to make sure na maging maganda yung percentage natin on the following year. Okay, now now let's say you are the manager or the owner of the business, no, and what if you are an investor? No, you need to look, no, you need to look at each and every item. Okay, you need to look at each and every item in this income statement and in this balance sheet, no, and you would get a holistic picture, no, of how a company is doing. Okay, so before they invest in any company, they should do the horizontal analysis of the company's financial statements and to go ahead, no, and to do what it seems appropriate, no. So that is the horizontal analysis. Okay, so ina-analyze natin siya horizontally, isa-isa, bawat line items ng income statement, bawat line items ng balance sheet, no, from the comparison year to the base year, and we are using this formula. Okay, so this is the vertical analysis. Okay, pag vertical analysis naman, no, once again sabi ko kanina, pag sinabi nating vertical analysis, we are analyzing it from up to bottom, no. So papaano natin ma-analyze using the vertical analysis. Okay? Kung sa horizontal analysis, no, once again, we are comparing the income statement or the balance sheet of the company for different years, no? Kanina, no, we identify na kinompare natin yung each line item of for the year 2018 and for the year 2019. Okay? Dito naman sa vertical analysis, we are doing it per year. Okay? So, bawat taon natin siya ginagawa. Hindi katulad ng horizontal. So, horizontal analysis, it's either dalawa, no? Or it's either tatlo, or it's either apat na taon ang ina-analyze natin horizontally. Okay? Sa vertical analysis, hindi natin i-compare or wala munang comparison na mangyayari per year, no? Hindi katulad sa horizontal. Sa vertical analysis, we are analyzing it per year, no? Sa example natin, let's analyze first, no, the income statement using the vertical analysis. No, in this example, we are using, no, the data from the income statement of the year 2019. Okay? So for the income statement, no, since ang nasa example natin ngayon is the income statement, this is the formula that we are going to use. Okay? So magkaiba po ang formula na ginagamit natin for us to analyze the income statement for vertical analysis, at iba din ang formula that we are using for us to analyze the balance sheet using the vertical analysis. Now, well, technically, ang naiba lang sa kanila is itong mga line items. Okay? So, okay. Okay, so how does this vertical analysis work, no? Ginagamit natin ang vertical analysis on an income statement and balance sheet, no, or cash flow statement for us to understand the proportions, no, para maintindihan natin yung proportions ng bawat line item, no, to the whole income statement. Okay? For us to understand yung financial aspect ng company. Okay? So to show you an illustration, okay, so ito, let's use this as an example. Okay? So once again, ang ina-analyze natin dito vertically is the income statement. Okay, so dahil income statement ito, we are going to use this formula. Okay? Income statement item over total sales multiply with 100, no, for us to get the percentage. Okay? So let's try this. Equal sign. Gagawin natin siya per line item. Okay, dahil gumagamit tayo ng Excel, mas madali nating mako-compute. So, equal sign, income statement item, this one, over the total sales. Magkano yung ating total sales? The total sales is ito, no, the 25,000, 25,500,000 multiply with 100 for us to get its percentage. Okay? Then we will drag down. So, my goodness, I'm sick. Okay. Huh? Ulitin natin. Hindi ako makapag-focus. Sorry. Okay, so by the way, nakalimutan kong sabihin, dahil total sales ang kinukuhanan natin ng percentage, no, itong 25, itong net sales na to, no, this is our total sales, automatically this will be the 100%. Okay? Then dito tayo mag-start sa kanilang cost of goods sold, no, which is equal sign, income statement item, over the total sales. Ito na pala yun, sorry. I think there's no, hindi natin pala ito kailangan. Okay. Kasi sa Excel pala, automatically na nating makukuha yung percentage, no? So there's no need for us to multiply with 100. Okay? Okay, now so this is how we compute for, or we get the vertical analysis, no, of the income statement using this formula, no? The income statement item over the total sales, which is the total sales is the 25,500,000, no? So until we get the percentage, ito na yung tinatawag natin na vertical analysis. Okay? So this is how we analyze, no, the income statement using the vertical analysis. Okay, and yung sa kanina ang pinakita ko sa inyo, that is how we analyze using the horizontal analysis, no? So dito, sa vertical analysis natin, dahil ang ginamit natin dito ay income statement, let's try using the balance sheet, no? So punta tayo sa balance sheet. Okay, so let's copy this balance sheet. Okay, so this is a vertical analysis of a balance sheet. Okay, so we are getting the percentage. Okay, we will get the percentage. Once again, sa vertical analysis, ginagawa natin siya per year, no? So hindi na katulad sa horizontal analysis that there is a comparison, no, of the different year. Okay, so dito, dahil balance sheet itong i-analyze natin, okay, so dahil balance sheet itong i-analyze natin vertically, no, we will be using this formula. Okay? We will be using that formula. Sorry. Okay. No, so katulad nung ginawa natin kanina doon sa vertical analysis ng income statement, kaya lang ito yung ginamit natin dito dahil ang ginagamit ang income, ang financial statement natin dito is the balance sheet. No, so we will use this formula for the balance sheet, no? The balance sheet item over the total assets or the total liabilities, no? As you can see, the total assets and the total liabilities, na ito yung kanyang amount, no? They have the same amount, no? So for us to get that, so equal sign, no, the balance sheet item over the total assets or the total liabilities. But ito ayaw na niya. Hindi siya nakaprogram ng percentage. Okay. Yon. So yung kanina, no, 'di ba kanina may nakalagay dito na 100 na times 100. If in case ang lumabas sa atin dito is hindi pa siya percentage form, no? Pero dahil we can set naman in the Excel, no? We can set na the percentage. There's no need for us to multiply with 100, no? So dito sa data natin nakaset siya as percentage. So we can just simply write down here, no, the formula, equal sign the balance sheet item over the total assets or the total liabilities, no? Katulad niya, naka-general siya. Ito yung kukunin, i-multiply pa natin siya with 100, no? But since we are using the Excel, we can just change the format. Okay, then we will drag this down. Sorry sakit na lalamunan ko. Nag-error siya kasi magkaiba pala yung ginamit natin. Sorry class, this is an impromptu, no? So hindi ko masyadong pinaghandaan tong discussion na to. Pero I guess na nakukuha naman. Nagigets naman. I'm clear naman, naiintindihan naman yung pinagsasabi ko.
Yes po.
Okay, clear. Okay, so that is how we compute for the horizontal and vertical analysis. Now, kung titingnan yung mabuti, as long as you know the formula, as long as you know the principle for the income statement and the balance sheet, now you can easily identify. Now you can easily analyze using the horizontal and vertical analysis. Okay, so using those formula, now using that example na pinakita ko, that's how we analyze the income statement. Now using the vertical analysis and horizontal analysis. Okay? Itong vertical analysis na ito, no, this vertical analysis, it is a more potent tool kasi it considers the finances of the business, no, or the finances of the company over a certain period of time. Now, then after we analyze, let's say the financial statement or the balance sheet, no, the next thing that we need to do is to interpret the percentage, no, that we compute, no. So dito sa percentage na nakuha natin, syempre we need to analyze what happened, kung bakit naging 1% lang siya, yung utility expense, bakit 1% lang siya, or bakit itong from the net sales natin, 80% yung cost of sales. Ibig sabihin, ano yung kailangan natin gawin? Kasi parang 24% lang yung nakukuha nating sales. No? Do we need to, ano yung mga adjustments, no, na gagawin natin for us to make sure na maging okay yung percentage, no, ng mga line items na kailangan natin. Let's say, for example, dito sa income statement. Okay? So, yeah, we analyze the financial statement. Then the next thing is we interpret the percentage that we compute in the financial statement analysis. And from this percentage, no, we identify is there an increase or decrease. And from that, what do we plan to do, no, in order to make sure that our business is having a healthy finances. Okay, so that's the vertical, no, and the horizontal analysis, no. Those are one of the financial analysis methods that we are using. Okay? Punta na tayo sa pinakamahirap. Okay? Which is, once again, ang vertical and horizontal analysis, madali lang siya. Dito tayo sa pinakamahirap. Okay? So, the other method or the other financial analysis method that we are using is the ratio analysis. Okay? Ratio analysis is the process of analyzing the information in a financial report as it relates to another piece of information in the same report. Okay? So itong financial ratio na ito or financial ratio analysis na ito, no, for me, it is the most complicated method of analyzing the financial aspects, especially if you don't have any background with the accounting principles. Okay? Kasi you can't fully analyze if you don't fully understand, no, the accounting principles kasi no. But if in case in the near future, no, as the manager, no, let's say you would be needing financial ratio analysis, at least you have an accountant to help you, no, with the financial ratio and explain to you, no, how to interpret it. Okay? Pero itong financial ratio analysis na ito, no, it is a quantitative method of gaining insight into a company's liquidity, profitability, or the measurement levels na diniscuss natin kanina. Okay, that we discussed earlier, no? Para mapag-aralan yung financial, okay? So para mapag-aralan natin yung financial statement ng isang business or ng isang company. Okay? Kasi syempre, we need to monitor the performance of the company. No? And we can do that by using this ratio analysis and comparing these measures for the improvement of the company or the business. Okay? So although it may be somewhat unfamiliar to you, no, this financial ratio analysis is either sophisticated nor complicated. Okay, kasi it is something it is nothing more than simple comparisons, no, between specific pieces of information pulled from the company's financial statements. Okay? And itong financial ratio analysis na ito, this can be used in two different but equally useful ways. No, it's either pwede mo siyang gamitin, no, or to examine the current performance ng business mo in comparison sa mga naging performance ng business in the previous years. Okay? And frequently, this financial ratio analysis can help you identify or can help you to identify problems that need fixing. Okay? Kasi using this ratio analysis, no, para ma-identify yung problems ng business. Okay? It can direct your attention as the manager to potential problems that can be avoided. No? Or in addition, okay, you can also use these ratios to compare the performance of your company against that of your competitors. Okay? Then we have to remember, no, na itong mga ratios na ito that we will be computing or that we will be calculating are intended, no, simply to show broad trends na para matulungan ka with as the manager, na matulungan ka with the decision making regarding the finances of your company or regarding the finances of your business. Okay? And there are different categories or different kinds of ratio which can help us gain insights regarding the financial health, okay, and status of the company. Okay? So, hindi ko na natapos ang aking PowerPoint presentation. So, let's just use this Excel file. Okay? So, there are different categories or different kinds of ratio. Okay? So, meron tayong tinatawag na profitability. Tawag na profitability ratio. Meron tayong tinatawag na liquidity ratio. Meron tayong tinatawag na leverage ratio. At meron tayong tinatawag na activity ratio. Okay, so once again, these are the different categories. These are the different categories or different kinds of ratio, no, na ginagamit natin for us to identify the financial health of the company. Okay, so let's start with the profitability ratio. Okay, let's start with the profitability ratio. Okay, itong profitability ratio na ito yung financial matrix na ginagamit, no, lalo na ng mga investors and financial analysis para ma-evaluate ang ability ng isang company to generate income or to generate profit. Okay? In probability ratio, the higher ratio or the higher value, no, is commonly sought after, no, by most companies kasi it only means na kapag ang isang company ay may mataas na probability or profitability value or profitability ratio, it means that the business is performing well by generating revenues, profits, and cash flow. Okay? Now in the formula now that we are using to identify the profitability ratio, is meron tayong tatlo. Okay? So we have the gross margin ratio. Gross margin ratio. Okay, meron tayong profit margin ratio. Then meron tayong return on assets. And meron tayong return on assets, and meron tayong return on equity. Okay. Okay, so once again, in profitability ratio, no, itong apat na to na nakikita nyo ngayon, these are the four formula or the four sub-ratios, no, na ginagamit natin for us to identify yung profitability ratio. Once again, pag sinabi nating profitability ratio, ito yung financial matrix na ginagamit, no, ng mga investors and mga financial analysts para ma-evaluate nila yung ability ng isang company to generate income or to generate profit. Okay, so let's start with the first one, which is the gross margin ratio. Okay, itong gross margin ratio na ito, no, it is one of the profitability ratio, no, na kung saan we compare the gross margin of a business. Okay, kapag sinabi natin gross margin, ito yung total net sales revenue, no, less the cost of goods sold, no, or less the expenses, no, to the net sales. Okay? Ang mini-measure nitong gross margin ratio na ito na is how profitable yung isang company in selling its inventory or merchandise. Okay? Pag sinabi nating inventory is ito yung an item or merchandise or goods, no, that are for sale. Okay? So in gross margin ratio, no, meron tayong formula na ginagamit. Okay, meron tayong formula na ginagamit. Malakas pa yung boses ata ng aso kaysa sa akin. Okay, so in identifying, no, the gross margin ratio, no, para ma-identify natin yung profitability ratio ng company, this is the formula that we are using. Okay? Abbreviate na lang natin. Gross margin ratio is equals gross margin divide by or over the net sales. Okay? This is the formula na ginagamit natin. Okay? So let's have an example. Okay, doon tayo sa ano ba ito ma-share? Dito tayo sa 2019. Huh? Okay, hindi pala siya nahihiwalay. Okay. So once again, now for us to identify the gross margin ratio, the formula that we are using is gross margin over net sales. Okay? So punta tayo sa ating financial statement. Dito tayo sa income statement. Okay? So once again, the formula gross margin over net sales. Okay? So dito, let's say pupuntahan natin yung ating income statement, no? This is our income statement. And kunwari ang goal natin is kailangan nating makuha yung gross margin ratio. Okay? So dito na tayo mag-compute, no? Equal sign gross margin. Okay? Ano ba yung gross margin natin dito? Okay? Yung gross margin natin, once again, pag sinabi natin gross margin, no, ito yung total net sales revenue less the cost of goods sold. Okay? So this is our gross profit or this is our gross margin. Okay? This is our gross profit or this is our gross margin. Okay, so once again, pag sinabi natin gross profit or gross margin, ito yung total net sales revenue na nakuha natin after we less the cost of goods sold. Okay, so for us to identify the gross margin ratio, okay, so this is the formula that we need to follow. So equal sign, ano yung gross margin natin or the gross profit natin is we have the 5 million over yung net sales natin of 25,500,000. Okay? So this is the gross margin ratio, 0.20. Okay? Or pwede rin, aside from using this formula, no, pwede rin natin gamitin formula ang gross margin ratio equals total revenue, no, total revenue or the total net sales minus cost of goods sold Okay? Over, ito natin ilagay, over total revenue. Total revenue or total net sales. Okay? The reason kung bakit pwede rin natin itong gamitin, no, kasi it's either, kasi dito, ito yung pinakamadali actually, ito yung pinakamadali, no, kasi dito i-identify na natin, no, that this is the gross profit, no, the 5 million over the net sales. Pwede rin naman, no, nakukunin muna natin yung total revenue or net sales, which is ito yon, the 25 million, 500 ang ating total net sales, less the cost of goods sold, no, minus the cost of goods sold natin. The cost of sales, no, or the cost of goods sold natin is 20,500,000. Okay? Over the total revenue natin, our total revenue is the 5 million. Okay? 5 million, tama. 5 million. This one. So, let's check kung pareha siyang wait lang. May mali. Tingnan natin. Total revenue. Total revenue less cost of sales. Okay. Then, from here, over total revenue. Hindi, mali. Na-identify ko na, sorry. Palitan natin kasi this is something na nakakalito talaga. Instead of using total revenue, no, gamitin natin ang net sales minus cost of goods sold. Okay. Divide pa din by the net sales. Okay, the net sales. Okay. So the net sales of 25,500,000 less the cost of goods sold. Okay, so we have 5 million. So 5 million over the net sales of 25,500,000. So this is, we have the same answer, 0.20, no, or 20%. Okay? So, ito, parang ang ginawa natin dito, kasi dito sa gross margin, ito na siya eh, 5 million, which is, this 5 million is coming from the net sales of 25.5 million and 20.5 million, kaya tayo mayroong gross profit na 5 million. Okay? So, dito, in-identify na agad natin siya, the 5 million over the net sales, so kaya meron tayong 0.20. So, dito, ang ginawa natin, pinahaba natin yung formula, which is ito yon. Okay? Ito siya. Okay? So, the net sales less the cost of goods sold, then the answer of 5 million, tsaka natin siya dinivide sa net sales na 25.5 million until we get the 0.20%. Okay? So, in our example, no, so from this example, no, how can we interpret, no, na this is the gross margin ratio? The gross margin ratio is 0.20 or 20%. Okay? No, which is so parang ang interpretation nito, no, in every peso of revenue generated, itong 0.20 na ito, no, this 0.20 as the ratio, this is the 0.20 centavos, no, is retained, no, and can be used to pay back other expenses, no, while the remaining 80.80, no, 0.80 centavos in every peso is attributed to the cost of goods sold. Okay? So that's how we interpret the gross margin ratio. No, ina-identify natin once nakuha na natin ang gross margin ratio, ibig sabihin nito, itong 0.20 na ito yung amount of the ratio that we can retain, no, in our uh, statement, no, in our finances. Okay. So that is the gross margin ratio. Okay? Next is the profit margin ratio. Okay? Kung sa gross margin ratio, no, ang kinukuha natin is the ratio or the percentage of the company's revenue, no, that exceeds its cost of goods sold, na ibig sabihin from the net profit or the total sales, no, binawas na natin ang cost for the goods sold. Yung matitira after we less the cost of goods sold, yung pinaka-gross sales, yun yung ratio na kinukuha natin, no, sa gross dito sa gross margin ratio. Okay, dito naman sa profit margin ratio, no, or net profit margin ratio, no, we are using this formula naman. Okay, formula that we are using is the abbreviate natin profit margin ratio. It's equals to net income over net sales. Okay, so this is the formula that we are using now for us to identify the net income and net sales. Okay, now ano ang pinagkaiba, no, ng net income and net sales? Okay, kasi kadalasan dito nalilito, no, the difference between the net income and net sales. Okay, kapag sinabi nating net income, it is the profit, or it is what's left over. No, it's what's left over after you account for all the revenue and expenses. Okay, so basically, no, ito yung after you less the expenses, while kapag sinabi nating net sales, no, it is the company or it is the sales, no, that the company earns from doing the business with your customers. Okay, so punta tayo dito sa example natin, no, and para mas maintindihan natin, kunwari ang company natin is, let's say, nagbebenta tayo ng ano ba pwede nating ibenta? Kunwari nagbebenta tayo ng graphic shirts, no, graphic shirts by Paul Melvin, no. So kunwari worth 150 pesos each, no, and we have 100 pieces of t-shirts to sell. Okay? Kunwari nabenta natin lahat yung 100 pieces, no, na t-shirt. Nabenta natin 100 pieces multiply with 100 pesos. 100 kasi 100 pesos each. After selling, meron tayong 15,000. Okay? That 15,000, that is the net sales. Yung tinatawag natin na net sales. Okay? And sa paggawa ng shirts, no, ano yung mga naging expenses natin? Okay? We have the shirts, we have ano ba kailangan natin? Iron-on transfers, no, the printing expenses, so on, no. Kunwari the total expenses sa paggawa ng 100 pieces is, let's say, 10,000. Okay, the net sales of 15,000, no, pag sinabing net sales, it is the total amount of money that we get, no, after selling, no. That is the net sales, the 15%. We less, no, the total expenses worth of 10,000, so ang matitira na lang is 5,000. That 5,000, that remaining 5,000, yun yung tinatawag natin na net income. Okay, so in our example here, okay, so this is the net sales. Ibig sabihin, after nating ibenta or after nating, kunwari may mga dito sa kunwari itong business na to, no, the business project. Okay, kunwari the business project, ang in-offer natin is a business consultancy services. Then meron tayong mga companies or mga businesses that bawat branches, kunwari ng fast, they are paying for the consultancy services, ganyan. Okay? So let's say for after a year, no, this is the total so this is the total sales that we get. Okay? From this total sales, nababawasan natin ano yung mga nagastos natin in offering those service. Okay? Ano yung mga naging expenses natin? The utilities expense. Meron tayong mga tauhan na pinasweldo. Ito yung mga pinasweldo natin sa kanila. Ito yung operating expense natin. Then these are the furnitures, the assets that we have sa office natin. Okay, then we subtract it no from the net sales up until we get the net income. Okay, so yun yung pinagkaiba ng net sales and net income. Okay, so for us to identify, okay, suburin na natin to. Time ulit to. So for us to identify, okay, for us to identify the profit margin ratio, now once again, we are using this formula, net income over net sales. Okay? So dito sa example natin, let's say what we need to get is the profit margin ratio. Okay? Profit margin ratio, yung net income natin, how much yung net income natin dito? Ang net income natin ang net income ng the business project for the year 2019 is this one. Okay, 1,708,000. Okay? Over how much is our net sales? Our net sales is 25.5 million. Okay? So once again, para ma-identify natin ang profit margin ratio ng the business project for the year 2019, now we will get the net income. Ang net income, kunwari, ng the business project is 1.7 million. Divide by the net sales of 25.5 million. The profit margin ratio is at 0. Tingnan natin. Net income over net sales. Okay. So 0, no? 0 yung okay. Pero weird, hindi dapat siya 0. Gamitin nga natin yung calculator. Try ulit natin. Net income over net sales. Okay, so this is the correct answer. No? Kailangan natin siyang i-make sure na naka-general tayo. Okay? So, using the formula, no, the formula for profit margin ratio, net income over net sales. Now, this is our answer. Okay, so we have 0.07. Okay, and from this example, no, how can we interpret this profit margin ratio? No, or we may be asking, okay, what is a good profit margin? Okay, a good profit margin no, will vary considerably by industry, no, but as a general rule of thumb, no, a 10% net profit margin is considered average, nor a 20% margin is considered high or good, no, while a 5% margin is low. Okay, so from this example, if we're going to convert it, but I'm not contented with the answer sa Excel, gamitin nga natin ang ating calculator. I'm satisfied sa 0.07. Hindi ako papayag na yan lang yung ating profit margin. Okay, so using the formula, gamitin natin ang ating calculator. 1,708,000. This is our net income. Divide by our net sales of 25.5 million. Okay. Tama naman pala. Okay. So we have 0.06 or 0.07. Okay. And if we're going to convert it into a percentage, okay, so we will get a 6.06%. no? 6.7 percent. Okay, so this is our profit, sabi na, profit margin ratio. Okay? Okay. In the interpretation of this profit margin ratio, no, paano natin siya i-interpret, no? So let's write down here interpretation. Nanginginig yung kamay ko. Okay, interpretation. Okay, for us to interpret, no, yung nagiging or yung makukuha nating profit margin ratio, no? Kapag sinabi nating this is a general rule of thumb, no? This is what most of the companies are following, no? Pag sinabi nating 10% profit margin ratio, ibig sabihin, the profit margin ratio is considered average. Okay? Kapag naman 20% ang profit margin ratio, now we are considering this as a high or good, no? High or good. Kapag naman 5% yung nakuha nating profit margin ratio, okay? This is a low margin. Okay? So, pag 10%, it is average. Pag 20%, it is a good. Kapag mas mataas pa ng 20, it's higher. It's good. Kapag nasa 5%, it's low. No? Mababa siya. Dito sa example natin, no, ang ating profit margin ratio is 6.7%. No, so ibig sabihin, no, we can say na hindi maganda yung ating naging profit margin ratio. Bakit hindi naging maganda? Ano yung ibig sabihin nito? Ibig sabihin, madami tayong expenses, no? Marami tayong cost of goods sold, no? Na dito sa 25.5 million natin, ang net income lang natin is 1,708,000. Sabihin, halos karamihan nung nakuha nating pera from the net sales is dito lang natin na-allocate. No? Let's ask the manager after we analyze the profit margin ratio, ano yung mga kailangan natin gawin, no, to make sure na medyo mapapataas natin from 6.7%, no, na mapapataas natin siya ng more than 20. No, so ibig sabihin dito, kailangan nating magbawas expenses. No, baka masyadong malaki yung pinapasweldo natin sa mga tao natin. No, let's say, taga-sagot lang sila ng email, baka ang laki ng pinapasweldo ko, pinapasweldo natin, kailangan natin bawas. Siguro dahil nag-pandemic naman for the year 2020, ibenta na natin itong mga furnitures natin. Hindi na natin kailangan ng office. Pwede naman tayo mag-operate online, no? Those are some of the plans na pwede natin gawin, no, para sa susunod na taon. Okay? Na-increase natin yung ating profit margin ratio from 6.7%, no, na maging siyang more than 20 para masabi natin na maganda, no, ang ating profit margin ratio. Okay? Okay, so the next profitability ratio, no, is itong tinatawag natin na return on assets and the return on equity ratio. Okay? The return on assets, no, the return on assets, or tinatawag din natin siya na ROA, no, return on assets. Okay? This is generally net income divided by average assets. Now, while the return on equity, no, or tinatawag natin siya na ROE, no, tinatawag natin siya na ROE, is generally net income divided by equity, no? So this is the formula that we are using, no? For the return on asset, formula is net income over total assets. Okay, this is the formula that we are using for the return on assets ratio. Okay, samantala, on the formula that we are using for us to get the return on equity ratio, okay, return on equity is equals net income pa rin, net income over the equity. Okay? So this is the formula that we are using. Okay? So punta tayo dun sa ating example na na financial statement for the year 2019. Okay? Okay, so tanggalin na natin to. Hindi tayo malito. Okay? So, kunwari, dito sa ating dito pala dapat tayo. Okay? Kanina, ang ginagamit natin is the income statement. No? Kasi yung mga items na kailangan natin is nasa income statement. Okay, ngayon naman, sa return on assets or return on equity, ang mga kailangan nating values ay nandito sa balance sheet. Kaya tayo lumipat ng balance sheet. Okay? So, for us to identify, kunwari ang goal natin ngayon is for us to identify the return on assets or the ROA. Okay? So, how can we compute or how will we compute the return on assets? No? So following this formula, okay? So we have the net income, okay? Magkano yung net income natin? Saan natin makikita yung net income? Basically, wala dito ang net income. Okay? Ang net income natin is nandito sa ating income statement. Okay? So we will copy the net income from the income statement. Okay? Net income. Hindi natin siya pala pwedeng makopy. Hindi natin siya pwedeng makopy. Okay. No, so this is our net income. Okay? We will divide it by the total assets. Okay, magkano yung total assets natin? This is our total assets. Okay. Okay. So, once again, ang goal natin is para makuha natin yung ating return on assets. Once again, the formula that we are using, net income over total assets. Okay, yung net income, galing siya sa ating income statement na 1,708,000 while the total assets na kailangan natin ay nasa balance sheet. Okay, which is the total assets is 21,149,000. Okay, so for us to get the return on asset following the formula, net income over the total assets. Okay, so we have, okay, this is our answer. No, 0.08. Okay, now itong return on asset ratio na ito, it measures the relationship between the profits of your company generated, the profits of your company generated and the assets that were used, the assets that were used o ginamit natin, to generate those profits. Okay, this return on assets is one of the most common ratios, for business comparisons. Okay, itong return on assets na ito, it is telling the business owners whether they are earning a worthwhile return, okay, from doing the business. And normally, itong return on assets, ito yung kumbaga tinitingnan ng mga investors or competitors, na kapag mababa ang ratio ng return on assets. Okay? Pag mababa ang ratio on return on assets, ibig sabihin, or comparing sa other companies, it may indicate that your competitors have found ways to operate their business more efficiently. no? Kasi kapag kunwari maganda ang return on assets na maganda ang return on assets ratio natin, ibig sabihin it is telling how well the company no is using its assets to produce income. Okay? So dito, pinakita ko na sa inyo yung kung paano natin kinukuha yung return on assets. Okay? Which is ang naging sagot natin is 0.08. Okay? Or if we're going to convert it into a percentage, okay, convert natin sa percentage, we have 0.08%. No, 0.08%, this is our return on assets ratio. Okay? So anong ibig sabihin nito? No, based from this example, no, ang mababang ratio for return on asset or for the ROA no, indicates that the company is not able to make maximum use of its assets now for getting more profits. Okay? Kapag mataas naman ang na-compute natin, ang na-compute mong ROA or return on assets, it indicates that the company no is nagagamit niya ng maayos yung kanyang assets effectively in order for the company to get more net income. Okay? So that's how we compute for the return on assets. Okay? Let's compute naman for the return on equity. Okay. For the return on equity, no, or the ROE, now once again, we are using the formula net income over the equity. Okay? Itong ROE naman, or the return on equity, no, it is more than a measure. It is more than a measure of profit, no? It is I forgot the term. Kasi a rising ano, no? I hindi ko maalala yung term, pero compute muna natin siguro while we are computing it, maalala ko. Okay? So for getting the return on equity, no, once again we are using the net income. Okay, which is the net income is coming from here, which is 1,708,000. Okay, so 1,708,000. That is our net income. Okay, yung equity natin, this is our equity. Owner's equity, no, or the owner's capital, we have 15,786,000. Okay, this is our okay. Now, so once again, ito naalala ko na, itong ROE na to, okay, the ROE or the return of equity, it measures the financial performance now calculated by dividing the net income by shareholders' equity no, or the owner's capital or the owner's equity in order to get more net income. Okay? So let's try this no, using the formula. Let's get the return on assets. Okay, so once again, the net income of 1,708,000 over the total, the owner's capital or the owner's equity of 15,786,000. So we will get the ROE of 10.82%. Okay, itong 10.82% na ito, once again, it is more than a measure of a profit. Okay, it is to measure the company's efficiency. Okay, kasi kapag mataas no yung return on equity no, it suggests that yung company or that the company is increasing its profit generation without needing as much as capital, meaning it indicates how well no the company or the business management deploys its shareholder capital. Okay, so that's how we compute no and interpret the ROE or the return on equity and the return on assets, no, for us to identify the profitability, of the company, no, or ng isang business. Okay, so let's proceed with the next one, which is the liquidity ratio. Okay. Okay. So once again, itong apat na to, the gross margin ratio, which is this is the formula that we are using, the profit margin ratio, this is the formula that we are using, so on and so forth. This is under the profitability ratio. Okay? Dito naman tayo sa liquidity ratio. Okay? Itong liquidity ratio na ito, no, it measures the company's ability to cover its expenses. Okay, or how capable ang isang business of paying its liabilities. Okay, pag sinabi nating liabilities, it is something that the company owe, or it is something that the company na kailangan niyang bayaran, no? That is the liability. Okay, so in liquidity ratio, no, dahil mini-measure nito yung ability ng company to cover its expenses, or how capable ang isang business in paying its liabilities. And para ma-identify natin ang liquidity ratio ng isang business or isang company, now we are using the formula for the current ratio, quick ratio, and working capital ratio. Okay. Okay, so let's start with the current ratio. Kapag sinabi natin current ratio, no, it is a reflection of a financial strength, no? Ito yung number of times na yung company na yung company's current assets exceed its current liabilities. Okay? Which is an indication of the solvency, no, ng isang business, itong current ratio na ito. Okay? It can also be called a working capital ratio. Okay? And the formula, no, that we are using, no, for us to get the current ratio, no, or the working capital ratio, tanggalan natin ito ng ratio. Okay? The working capital ratio or the current ratio is we are using current ratio is equals to total current assets over total current liabilities. Okay. So let's take an example of getting the current ratio. Gawin na natin to. Okay. So ang goal natin is for us to get the current ratio, no? Para ma-identify natin yung liquidity, no, ng isang company. Okay? We need to get the total current assets over the total current liability. Okay? So magkano ba yung ating total current assets? Now, this is our total current assets. The 12,609,000. Ganun. Makakabaliw itong Excel na to. Okay. So this is our total current assets. Then we need to get the total current liability, no? This is our total liability. Okay? So kinapin na natin para hindi tayo malito. Okay. So once again, ang goal natin is for us to identify the current ratio. Okay? Using the formula for us to get the current ratio. Okay? Total current assets, which is the 12,609,000 over the current liability, which is the 5,363,000. No, and we will get 2.35. Okay? We'll get 2.35%. Okay? So getting, or just 2.35. Okay? Getting this current ratio, now this will tell the manager or the owner of the business now that current liabilities are covered by current assets. no? So ibig sabihin dito ng 2.35 na ito, no, dito sa example natin sa let's say sa the business project company, no? The current liabilities, no, yung current liabilities natin are covered by the current assets. Ibig sabihin, mas malaki ang assets natin kaysa sa ating liabilities, which is a good thing, no? Kasi it will be a negative thing kung magkabaliktad, mas malaki yung ating liabilities kaysa sa ating assets. Okay? So from our example, now we can say that itong 2.35 na ito, now this is the total current liabilities are covered by the current assets 2.35 times. Okay? So itong current ratio na ito, this answers the question, does the business or does the company have enough current assets to meet the payment schedule of the current liabilities, no? No, with a margin of safety, no? Natin na parang a jargon. Okay? Or in the simplest term, no, pwede nating sabihin na after getting the current ratio of 2.35, no, is meron ka pang sapat na pera or assets para mabayaran lahat ng kailangan mong bayaran or mabayaran lahat ng utang mo or liabilities mo. So, ibig sabihin, if we will compare, no, the 12,609,000 to 5,363,000, ibig sabihin there is 2.35 times na pwede nating makover itong liabilities, no, na kailangan nating bayaran, no? And the a common rule of thumb, no, for us to interpret. Okay, punta tayo dun sa ating interpretation table, no? So in interpreting the current ratio as a rule of thumb, no, a good current ratio no, is 2 to 1. Okay, kapag ang nakuha natin is 2 to 1 or 1 to 2, it is a good current ratio. Okay? Kapag less than 1, okay? Or let's say 0.99. Okay, less than 1. Ibig sabihin nito, no? Mas malaki yung mga this is bad, no? This is or negative. Okay? Kasi kapag bumaba ng 1, okay, kapag bumaba ng 1 ang nakuha mong current ratio, no, ibig sabihin, mas malaki ang mga liabilities mo kaysa sa mga assets na meron ka. Okay? And if that happens, you need to make sure that moving forward or let's say on the next year, no, kailangan ang mag-increase is yung current assets mo, hindi yung mga utang mo or hindi yung mga liabilities mo. Okay? When it comes to the liabilities, yun yung kailangan mong mabawasan or kailangan mag-decrease, no? Yung kailangan mag-decrease yung mga liabilities mo, no? So ano yung mga gagawin mo if this happens? It's either magbabayad ka ng utang or magda-down ka sa utang mo, or maybe you can acquire a long-term loan, no, which is payable pa in more than 1 year's time, no, or sell your fixed assets, no, or whatever decisions that you can come up with, or putting profits back into business. Okay, so 12 na lang tayo. Thank you for staying with, hindi pala 23 pa tayo. So far nagigets naman, so far naiintindihan naman. I understand na financial ratio is something na medyo mahirap intindihin, especially if you don't have the background when it comes to the accounting principles, but using the formula, especially if we have the income statement of or the balance sheet, madali rin naman natin siyang makukuha. Okay? Medyo siguro right now ang problem nyo is nahihirapan kayong intindihin on the way how we interpret it, no? But at least I'm giving you the idea. Okay? So are we still clear? Class? Clear pa tayo?
Opo.
Yes
Okay.
po.
Sige, no?
Yes,
And
sir.
for the last one, no, meron tayong tinatawag na working capital. Okay? Wait lang, may quick ratio pa pala tayo. Okay. No, so meron kasi din tayo, aside from the current ratio, no, meron tayong tinatawag na working capital. Okay? Itong working capital naman na ito, hindi siya ratio. no? That's why ni-remove ko yung ratio kanina. Hindi siya ratio, but it is a measure of a cash flow. Okay? Kasi it represents the amount of capital invested in resources that are subject to relatively rapid turnover, no, such as cash. Okay? It's either cash or accounts receivable and inventories less the current liabilities, no? And itong working capital na ito should always be a positive number. No, kasi it is an indication na mas malaki ang assets mo kaysa sa liabilities. Kasi syempre pangit tingnan, no, sa isang business, pangit tingnan na mas malaki yung liabilities mo kaysa sa assets mo. Kunwari, no? Kunwari I am an investor. Okay? Kunwari I'm planning na mag-invest sa business mo, no? And let's say I check your working capital. And let's say nakita ko mas malaki ang liabilities mo kaysa sa assets mo. No, baka hindi na ako tumuloy, no? Kasi based from your working capital statement, um, possible na hindi na ako tumuloy kasi negative yung working capital mo, no? Um, na based on the working capital na evaluate ko kaagad na your business or your company are having a hard time, no? Syempre ayokong malugi. Okay, so that's why in working capital it should always be positive, no? And dito sa working capital, no, ang kinukuha lang natin dito once again hindi siya ratio. Okay, but meron din tayong ginagamit na formula which is the current assets minus the current liabilities. Okay, so basically this is it. Okay, so once again hindi siya ratio. No, this is how we identify kung positive or negative ba yung company mo, no? So in our example here, no, hindi na natin kailangang ikunin, no, kasi we can identify na ang laki ng difference ng 12,609,000 sa liabilities ng 5 billion. So, ibig sabihin, this is a positive. No, ibig sabihin, maganda yung working capital ng company. No, pero let's say nagkabaliktad siya, nandito yung ito yung ating liabilities, ito yung ating assets, ibig sabihin we have a negative 7 million. Ibig sabihin 7 million ang palugi, no? Kasi mas malaki yung utang natin kaysa sa ating liabilities. Okay? So, moving forward, okay? So the next one is the the next one is ito, nakalimutan natin ang quick ratio. Okay? Itong quick ratio naman na ito, no, we are using the formula quick ratio. Quick ratio is equals to current assets, includes natin sa parentheses. Current assets minus inventory close parentheses over current liabilities. Okay, so this is the formula that we are using for us to get the quick ratio. Okay, so let's have an example. Punta tayo sa ating financial statements. Okay, so burahin na natin itong mga to. Okay, so itong assets na considered to be quick assets, na ito yung ito yung cash, or it's either ito yung stocks or bonds, or ito yung accounts receivable, or ito yung merchandise inventory, no? Or these are the current assets, no, on the balance sheet. Except the inventory pala, no? Pag sinabi nating quick assets, ito yung it's either the cash, the accounts receivable, the stocks, or the bonds without including the merchandise inventory, no? So hindi natin sinasama ang merchandise inventory. No, ano ba kapag sinabi nating inventory, no? Pag sinabi nating inventory, ito yung mga items or ito yung mga merchandise or materials, no, held by business for selling. Nor ito yung mga products or items for sale, or ito yung mga products or items na ibebenta pa lang natin. Okay, so in our example here, in getting the quick ratio, okay, So we will use the formula. Now, quick ratio is equals to the current assets. Iwalay muna natin para hindi tayo malito. Let's get the current assets first. Now, this is our current assets. Okay. Then, this is our hindi pala, mali. Ay, tama. Sige. Current assets. Ito siya. Total current assets. Less inventory. This is our inventory. 5 million. Then, our current liabilities. This is our current liabilities. Okay. So using the formula, the current assets minus the inventory. Okay, so we have 7,609,000. Then we will divide it by the current liabilities of 12,609,000. Tama ba? Ay, hindi. Mali. This is our current liabilities. Okay, which is the 5,363,000. Okay, so this is our parang may mali. Ito natin. Current assets. This is our current assets, 12 million. Ito yung Excel. Ang ingay naman itong mga tropa ko sa labas. Current assets. Hindi na zero. Wait lang tayo isa. Okay. Okay, 12 million. Then we will get the inventory. Okay, then we will get the current liability. The percentage na siya. General. Okay. Now, so using the formula for quick ratio, no? So, unahin muna natin yung current assets less inventory, no? So this is it. So we have 7,609,000. So after getting it, i-divide natin yung 7,609,000 with our current liabilities. So we will get this answer. Okay. Okay, so this is our answer, or the quick ratio is 1.42. Okay, in general, no, a quick ratio result of 1, no, is considered to be the most or to be the normal quick ratio, no. So punta tayo sa ating interpretation. Okay, so for us to interpret the quick ratio, kapag ang result natin is 1, okay, ibig sabihin it is considered as normal quick ratio. Okay, kapag naman it is less than 1, okay, it is less than 1, ibig sabihin a company that has a quick ratio of less than 1, ibig sabihin it may not be able to fully pay off its current liabilities in the short term. So this is a negative interpretation. Okay? So from our example, no, ang ating current quick ratio is 1.42. No, so ibig sabihin yung ating quick ratio, we have a normal quick ratio kasi it's more than 1. No, kapag nag-less than 1 siya, ibig sabihin nito hindi natin kayang bayaran, or we cannot or our company is not able to fully pay off its current liabilities in the short term, no? Hindi natin siya kayang bayaran in a short term period, no? While a company, no, having a quick ratio, no, higher than 1, kapag mas mataas ng 1, can instantly get rid of its current liabilities. Ibig sabihin, mas mabilis nating mababayaran ng ating liabilities, no, which is if we are going to analyze, no, the data here, no, so we have the quick ratio of 1.42. Ibig sabihin, dahil malapit na siya sa 2, ibig sabihin kayang-kaya nating mabayaran kahit kunwari meron na tayong may current assets tayo na 12 million. Itong liabilities natin na 5 million, kayang-kaya agad natin siyang bayaran kasi sobrang taas ng ating quick ratio. Okay? So that is how we are interpreting the no, the quick ratio. Okay? So let's go with the last one, which is, so we are done with the profitability, we are done with the liquidity ratio. Let's go with the leverage ratio. Okay? Dito naman, no, dito naman sa leverage ratio, it is a kind of financial ratio analysis that indicates the level of the debt, no, or yung ating pagkakautang. Okay? Yan. It is read as silent B, no, the debt. Or it is the money that the company owe, no, or pagkakautang. Okay? Kumbaga, this ratio provide an indication of how the company's assets and business operations are financed, either using the debt or using the equity. Okay? Dito sa leverage ratio, no, ginagamitan natin siya ng formula to get the debt for the debt to equity ratio, and yeah, the debt to equity ratio ang i-discuss ko na lang sa inyo kasi medyo complicated pa yung iba. Okay? So we are going to use the debt to equity ratio, and the formula that we are using, debt to equity ratio, okay, is total liabilities over total equity. Okay, so this is the formula that we are using. Okay, so punta tayo sa ating example. I'm sick. Saan na tayo? Okay. Okay, so kunwari ang goal natin dito sa ating balance sheet is we need to identify the debt to equity ratio, which is we need to get the total liabilities over the total equity, which is this is our total liabilities. At naman magpa-copy paste nitong value dito. Okay. So this is our liability, coming from here. This is our total liability. Then our total equity, this is our total equity, or the owner's equity. Okay. So using the formula, okay, for us to get the debt to equity ratio, now we need to get the total liability, which is the 5,363,000 over the total equity of 15,786,000. Okay, then our zero, hindi to zero. Ulitin natin. Then siya. Okay, so this is the answer. Okay. This is our answer. 0.34. Okay, from our example here, how can we interpret the debt to equity the debt to equity ratio na kung saan the low debt to equity ratio indicates a lower amount of financing by debt. Now, while on the other hand, kapag mataas ang ratio, it indicates that the company is getting more of its financing by borrowing money. Now, which subjects the company to potential risk of debt levels are too high. Now, ibig sabihin, kapag mas mataas na percentage, kung i-convert natin to sa percentage, okay, kapag mas mataas ang Okay. No, kapag mas mataas ang percentage no ng debt to equity ratio, ibig sabihin nito the finances no na nagpapatakbo sa company is coming from the borrowed money no, or coming from the pera na utang mo or inutang mo, something like that, no? As a rule of thumb, no, kapag the debt to equity ratio is lower, no, which is meron tayong, sige, tanggalin natin siya sa percentage, tingnan natin siya as a general number. Okay, so we have 0.34, the debt to equity ratio. Okay, in our interpretation, okay, kapag as a rule of thumb, no, kapag the debt to equity ratio is lower than 1, no, is lower than 1, okay, ibig sabihin nito that its assets no are more funded by equity, no, assets are more funded by equity. Okay? Kapag naman greater than 1, okay? Ibig sabihin, no, the assets are funded by debt. Okay? So from this interpretation, no? Once again, kapag lower than 1 ang nakuha nating debt to equity ratio, ibig sabihin, assets are more funded by equity, no? Yung assets na kailangan nating patakbuhin sa company is nanggagaling sa equity natin. Okay, ibig sabihin wala tayo, maliit lang yung utang natin or wala tayong utang. Not with kapag mas mataas ng 1, ibig sabihin ito yung negative impression kapag mas mataas sa 1 ng ating debt to equity ratio. Ibig sabihin kasi nito, yung pera na nagpapatakbo sa kumpanya is mas malaki yung utang or mas malaki yung liabilities kaysa sa inyong current assets. No? Pero in our case, since we get the lower than 1, ibig sabihin, since we get the lower than 1, no, that our assets, no, itong assets natin are more funded by by our equity, no? So this is our equity, no? And ibig sabihin mapapatakbo natin tong company natin nang hindi tayo masyado nagre-rely on our liabilities or on our pagkakautang. Okay? Then actually there are a lot, no? Yan. Wait lang. Okay, no? And actually, no, there are a lot more financial ratios, no, that there are a lot of financial ratios pa that are available, no, to help us manage the finances of our business. Okay, pero I guess for now, no, dahil sakto 9 PM na, no, yun muna yung i-share ko sa inyo, okay? The basic financial ratios lang muna, no? So parang time saver na nag 9 PM na at di na natin kailangan i-discuss yung iba. Sorry. Yeah, so I guess for now, yun muna yung i-share ko sa inyo, the basic financial ratios lang muna, no, for us to at least meron tayong idea or for us to at least have an idea about these financial ratios. Okay? And possible your question is why we are discussing the financial analysis. Okay? Kasi many business owners, no, and company managers, no, have found that they found that insight gained now from their examination of the company's financial statements, no, using this vertical or using this horizontal analysis or using this financial ratio analysis, no, it helped their business to improve their profitability. It helped the business to improve their cash flow, and it helped the business to improve the value of the business. Okay? So yung some of the financial ratio analysis, no, na diniscuss natin kanina, no, it looks at the relationship between any numbers, no, dun sa company's financial statements. Now, this analysis can give valuable feedback, no, which in turn or in return, no, will help the business to yield profitable results, no, for the business. Okay, so I think that's it for now. Now, maybe the remaining time that we dapat, may remaining time pa dapat tayo since wala na tayong time. Siguro para ma-practice nyo yung horizontal and vertical analysis, no? Kasi syempre we learn from doing. Maybe mag-upload na lang ako, no, ng activity sa ating MS Teams, and I will allow you enough time para mapag-aralan kung paano sige, I'll give activities na lang about vertical and horizontal analysis ng income statement and balance sheet kasi it is something na pinakamadali, no? I am just discussing the financial ratio analysis for you to have an idea kung paano siya ina-identify. Okay? Pero if in case, kasi syempre if in case na may negosyo ka or nagne-negosyo ka, you are the manager, you are the owner, kapag hindi mo naman magawa ang financial analysis, you are hiring accountants, no, or you are hiring financial management graduates, no, or you are hiring financial analysts, no, para sila yung gumawa ng analysis of the financial ratio. Okay, so binigyan ko lang kayo ng idea kung paano siya kinu-compute para if in case you at least have the background, no, or you have at least the knowledge. Okay, so that is ito yung ginagawa natin, no, on the financial planning or in the financial analysis, no. And if you notice, it is something na medyo mahirap gawin, no, especially if you don't have the principles of the accounting. Okay, kaya yun, kaya may subject din kayo na accounting nung nakaraang semester because it is something that you can also be used na after you graduate. It just happens na medyo nakalimutan na natin. Kaya ako din, wala na rin akong time para i-review ko kayo or balikan natin, no, yung mga principles na yon, the assets, the liabilities, the owner's equity, the income statement, the balance sheets. Kaya nagdiretso na ako, no, on the financial analysis. But I'm hoping that at least you learn something from me and at least you learn something from this discussion for today. Maybe you have questions or you have clarifications that you wanted to ask. Anyone? You have questions? Walang questions? I think no questions. So yun, thank you for joining me in my 3 hours lecture. Now, this is the first time na talagang kinonsume ko na ang 3 hours. And expect nyo na sa susunod nating lecture sa investment and sa short term and long term, we will gonna consume the 3 hours pa din. Hoping na wala nang brand out na magaganap para we can continue, no, with our discussion. And thank you for bearing with me, and thank you for staying, no, sa pakikinig sa lecture ko, although medyo actually I am not feeling well, no. If you notice, no, medyo masama yung pakiramdam ko and medyo masakit yung lalamunan ko. Dalas akong ubuhin, so still thank you for staying. So yun lang, since wala kayong question, tigil muna natin pala tong recording na to. Okay.